views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. You are listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, from our compound to you worldwide, with your host, Gary Anderson.
Well, that is me. Tonight we're going to be talking, about cryptics. We're going to be talking about dinosaur bones. We're going to be talking about Bigfoot. And we got a great guest coming up right after this, Joe Taylor. So hang on, go get a cup of Java, get a comfortable chair, and get ready for a great show.
You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com.
You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, hi, Joe. How are you doing on this Monday?
I'm doing all right. Thank you.
Well, that's better than not doing all right. I hope you got a cup of Java there to sit back and we can just get into a great conversation tonight about cryptics, Mothman, dinosaur bones, and even Bigfoot.
I'm ready. I've had my coffee, and now I'm working on a big glass of sweet tea.
You know, since I'm on a diet, that's what I'm doing. I'm drinking a lemon tea and with no calories. And I'll tell you what, that's better than Coca-Cola any day of the week after you get used to
it. Yeah.
So you were telling me about a lady in your area that for the second time hit a Mothman. You want to tell the listeners about that tonight, Joe?
Yes, I haven't had a chance to talk to her personally, but her good friend saw me here in town before I was leaving to go up to speak at the Harriet McFeely's Nebraska Bigfoot Conference, and said, hey, she hit one again out on highway on Route 651, just the road that runs right through Crosby, out in the canyon where I've collected a lot of dinosaur bones and all sorts of giant camels and that sort of thing. And she said she wasn't going very fast, apparently, just wanted to see the canyon. Hits this thing and stops. Apparently was standing there, and she went over or looked at it and said, who are you? What do you want? What is this? And I guess he flew away like the last time, just flew away.
Interesting.
And so far, all the accounts that anyone's told me about, these things hover. They don't really seem to use their wings, which are quite long, and they're more like sheets or rags or something rather than real wings. And they're really strange. Well, they're kind of like moth wings, I guess. Moth wings aren't like feathers. They're not like bats. I'm anxious to talk to her. Well, tell me more. I went down through there as I left town and filmed that area where she could have hit it right there in the middle of the canyon, just so I have something to refer to next time. But yeah, that's her second time. She's got a lot of guts. Most people, something like that, they would just get as far away as they could immediately. But she's really a gutsy lady, and this is actually, I think, possibly the third time she's had an encounter with one. There was one some years before the first one that she hit, where this thing knocked on the window of their little snow cone stand in the middle of the night. They were in bed. She goes to the window and looks out, and here's this strange creature thing standing there. And she described it as sort of having on a beat-up old hat and raggedy clothes or something. But apparently it was the same creature or something similar to it. I don't know.
Did she ever?
Some people are just fortunate.
Did anybody ever describe what they look like face-wise, or if they have a face, or do they look humanoid, or do they look like a creature of some sort?
The other lady that was sitting outside on her out on the highway at 651 in the front of her house out there at 11 o'clock at night, smoking a cigarette, fixing to go in for the night. She said it was hovering above her, and when she looked up, she said its face was like Jeepers Creepers. And so I looked it up, and there was a movie made called Jeepers Creepers, and apparently it's about some kind of a Mothman character who was really bad, and he has this awful human, terrible-looking human face, and that to her, that's what the thing looked like. But they're often described as having no neck. Their eyes are down on their shoulders, but that could be something where they just bring their neck down low. I don't know, but they're called Mothman, I think, because the face tends to look like a moth, or an owl. Certain owls look a little like a moth, if you think about it. And I found some old drawings of a man with a owl head riding a dog, and in fact, I just found an Egyptian sculpture a while ago, not meant for any, it's just one of those things that's just in the picture. I looked at it and I go, that looks like Mothman.
Interesting.
It's an Egyptian pharaoh type style thing, but the face looks like it was not a human-like face. So I'm going, has this been around a long time? What is this thing?
It's strange. Now, why don't you tell everybody what you do? And that's what I can't understand. What you do, as a living and a hobby and all this stuff, is that why haven't you found bones or something like this? I mean, people are reporting Mothman in Pennsylvania. They're reporting them everywhere. And, unfortunately, or I should say fortunately for them, it's not like the movie in Jeepers Creepers where the Mothman gets a scent of you and then decides you're its next victim.
Right, yeah. I haven't seen the whole movie, so I don't really know that plot. But as far as finding bones, I've found bones of so many things. Not only the big dinosaurs, but giant crocodiles, giant salamanders, 20-foot tall camels, 3-toed horses, 2.5 feet tall.
In this country, badgers. we had camels in this country.
Right around, in Blanco Canyon, right at Mount Blanco Peak, which the canyon's named for, which the farm community that I grew up in is named for. There's what they call a camel quarry, and there were several 20-foot tall camels taken out there. One paleontologist, this was years ago, told me that they took out one that was laying on top of a pig. There are 2 or 3 kinds of pigs out here, peccary and pig. One's a giant pig. Then you go up north of here. The males are 6 feet tall, and they have tusks as big as bananas. In fact, the male camels here, their heads are 3 or 4 feet long, and they have their tusks are like dull bananas. But I've found all kinds of bones, and it may be like the Bigfoot thing. Years ago, I asked a Bigfoot researcher who had really been into it a long time. I said, how come we don't find bones of these things? They're shot, they're ran into the cars. He said, I know. I think they dispose of their dead, which means I think what he's getting at was they can chew up the entire animal, they eat the entire animal. They're cannibals, and why they do it, or if they do it, I don't know. But we know that animals, hogs would cannibalize a hog, and other dinosaurs eat each other. That there was the famous T-Rex Sue was found with the bones of another T-Rex in her stomach. So, is it like that? I don't know. What are they made of? They're made of something material enough. This lady hit it with her car. It dented the fender and caused her to lurch forward and bang her head on the steering wheel. So, but I found fossil badger bones, and I found a badger that had been hit by a car one time, and so I put it in a cage and was going to let the bones just turn the bones and everything, let the bugs take everything away. And it was hit by a tractor trying to put out a fire. But there are I found badger holes all over these canyons. And coyote remains, coyote tracks and all. But I've only seen one coyote in all the thousands of hours I spent out the canyon. I've never seen a badger. I've seen one armadillo, and this is Texas, hello. I've only seen one armadillo, and he scared me to death because he ran across the water in front of me, like on the water, sort of. And, okay, so just because I haven't seen a bunch of them doesn't mean they're not there. So since I haven't found bones of Mothman or Bigfoot, doesn't mean they aren't there and the bones aren't somewhere, but it is a good question, which brings the supernatural, paranormal thing into it, the spiritual. Are they a spiritual being? Are they a Nephilim, an angel, or are they just a giant insect?
Could they be a ghost?
South to die. I don't know.
Could they be a ghost from the past? People, in the paranormal, there's like hauntings where people have seen ghosts and stuff and documented. Could these Mothman be a creature that lived a long time ago that's like caught in a replay in that area and well, I don't think that would work though, because you said it dented her fender.
Yeah, and the second time she hit it, it made a sound. And she hit it hard enough the first time. She said it slid in the ditch and across the grass and left slide marks where the thing slid, as though it weighed 150 pounds or more. And I think she thought it was about 6 feet tall, maybe a little taller. So that it just, I know a lot about spiritual things, demons and the biblical view of and all that. And it's hard to make that fit a demon. I'm not saying it isn't. Then people bring up the idea, well, maybe it's a space alien. Well, that's one of the things you want to look at. Is there any merit to that? That's not my leaning, but I'll listen to anybody's explanation until we begin to get a pattern of evidence here, because there's been like six occurrences in my hometown here that we know of. 2 people won't let me film them telling the story. They've told the story twice. There must be others that if they knew about it would come forward and tell. So, with anything like this, it's unusual and unknown. You almost have to have a number, a good cross section before you can form an opinion.